So we're going to go from this to this.
Hi, I'm Jennifer, and you're watching the Corvette channel.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Scott, and today I am going to be showing you how to install this beautiful Z06 wing on your ERAY or your Z06. Okay, this wing is from Extreme Online Store, and this is what they call the Z06 conversion wing, because those of you that know all about these cars, there is no option for a different wing on an ERAY, and there is only one other option, which is this from the factory on the Z06, but otherwise they end up with that duckbill that you saw in the very beginning of the video. And what they did is they put in so many screws, which in my experience, way more screws than you ever were going to need to be able to hold that down. It's crazy. I lost count, but I want to say it's like 6 or 7 screws. So if you don't have this cap, then you're either having to have the bumper cover repaired, or you're going to have a bunch of those little plug holes in there, and it just looks unsightly. So with this kit, you get the top cap, as well as the wing, as well as all of the metal bracketry that goes down onto the frame and onto the tub of the car. So it makes it very, very rigid. It's not going anywhere. It's very strong. Now, this is the carbon flash version of it, and they also make a carbon fiber version. So, and then they also make the wing to fit a Stingray or the ERAY and Z06. They're the same. And so the bracketry is all exactly the same, you know, as far as the two cars, and then they make a little bit of a different bracketry to fit the Stingray, as well as I think the size of the wing is just a little bit smaller, because the wide body car is like 3.6 inches wider. So if you did that, it would like really protrude way out. So they've got you covered on that also. So what I want to do is I just want to go ahead and tell you all about that. I want to show you how to put this on, because there's a little bit to it. And so I've gone through and I've broke it down so you can see what the install looks like before we actually do the installation. You're going to be able to see how the pieces fit without the bumper on, so you can kind of see like an X-ray view of what it looks like with everything done, and then we show you how to totally install it. So I want to have you sit back and relax, and I'm going to show you how it's done. Alright guys, we are getting ready to go ahead and take the bumper off, but what I want to show you is the pieces that we're going to be assembling, okay? So one is going to be, we'll go ahead and get this one out of the way first. This is the cap. Now this kit is a carbon flash kit, so they also have the carbon fiber kit. But this is this actually will be going over the cap of the bumper, which is where we're going to be cutting our holes. And we'll end up using this, you'll see that in a little bit. We're going to use this as the template to exactly be able to mark exactly where we're going to be cutting the bumper. Okay, I'm going to set this off to the side. It's just literally got two-sided stick tape on it, and it just goes down on the top of the bumper, and it gets pinched down with the upper supports. Now I'm just going to set this off to the side real quick, get this over here, and then we're going to move over to the wing. So the base wing itself, as you can see right here, pretty hefty. It's not super heavy, but it's definitely stout. And you can see right here that you can see where the mounting bolts are for the brackets, okay? And then the one thing that you're going to end up having to do is you're going to have to get yourself some epoxy. I usually use the black JB Weld plastic, and that works really well. And what you're going to be doing is literally you're going to be putting the goop up inside here, and you'll pre-fit it. You'll see me do this in the video, but we'll pre-fit it and we'll stick it on there, and then we'll tape it on, and then we'll be able to leave it on overnight after we're done. Okay, so those are going to be on there like that. So we're going to go ahead, I'm going to move this off to the side because I don't want anything to happen to it. The finish is beautiful on it. All right, we're going to move that over here. Okay, so now after doing a little bit of playing around, because I'm not even quite sure, and this may be self-evident later on, I'm not exactly sure what this is for. It looks like it's some sort of template, but I haven't been able to figure that out, and I don't think I'm even going to need it, to be honest with you, but we will find out here soon. All right, so now what we've got is we've got all of our bolts. They're all going to be in a big package here. Now what I did, and you'll see this, I'm going to end up taking it apart, but this happens to be what would end up being the right side. So that's going to end up being right over here like this. Okay, and then obviously the left side. So you can see here that this is one base piece right here. This is another support rod that comes down. It's bolted on right here, as you can see right there. And then you have the upper pieces that are assembling this. So you've got an upper piece that bolts to here, and then you've got the main upper piece that's actually being bolted with this cap on it to the wing, and then you've got your two screws on the inside here that will hold the whole piece together. Okay, so being able to see that, I've seen a bunch of different videos out there and nobody really covers that. You know, they kind of show it while they're putting it together, but they don't show what it looks like ahead of time. Okay, so the hole that we're going to end up cutting into the top of the bumper, it is this piece. This is where the bumper is actually going to sit. So everything down here is below the bumper. And that's what's going to give this so much stability that this wing is not going to be flying off. Okay, because there's some of these kits out there that literally you got this little base and that's it, right? It's screwed to the top of the bumper. They put a little bolt on the, nut and bolt on the bottom. You're at the mercy of the plastic of the bumper, okay? But not this kit. This thing is stout. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and jump into taking the bumper off. Now, I'm not gonna really worry about that. You guys have seen me pull bumpers off a million times. So that part we're just gonna skip off, and we're gonna get the bumper off of it, and then we're gonna come back and we'll start going ahead and putting the brackets on. Okay, so sit back and relax, and I'm going to show you how it's done. All right, guys, I kind of mocked this up because I want to be able to give you a really good view of what you're going to be doing and how you're going to be doing it and where you're going to be doing it before you start putting everything together. Because what I found was that some of the parts are marked left and some are marked right. Some of those pieces are marked correctly, other parts are not. So your uppers here, these main brackets, those are not marked correctly. And so when I assembled them originally, I had this side over on the left side, and that just didn't match up. So I wanted to be able to give you a good bird's eye view of basically what you're about to do before you start doing it. Okay, so what you've got is you've got your brackets that are going in here. You'll see this when we go to do this, but this bracket here is the sub-support brace that comes down right here. All right, same thing over on this side. Okay, so this one is going right along here. You're tucking it right in, and you'll see when I go to do it, there's like a nut zert that's up inside here. It will only go in one exact spot. There's two keyed points, so you can't screw that up, okay? And I'll show you that here in a minute. But you can see that this other piece comes down here. So now what that automatically tells you is that you're bolting through the tub on both sides, just basically like what this one is doing. So what we've got to do is we've got to take all of the stuff out of my trunk, get rid of the carpet on the front and the back, and then at that point we can go ahead and we can drill through. And you can see here, you see I can show you all the bolts. We've got a pile of bolts here. Okay, now you're going to see that we've got a bunch of different ones, and all of them have a particular place where they're going to go. Now, these 4 bolts, these are the 4 that's going to hold the wing actually onto the brackets.
And those brackets are right here. So those 4 bolts I just showed you, they're going to be coming up from the bottom of this cap, and they'll be bolting through. All right, so you're going to want to use some Loctite or some sort of silicone or something to make sure that the screws don't vibrate loose. But then, like I said, this is your cap. This is the piece that we're going to end up utilizing as the, what am I trying to say? This will be the template to be able to cut the hole in the bumper. But you being able to see that the brackets here are going through the holes exactly the way they're supposed to. So see, if I pull that up, that's what it's going to really look like, okay? So you can see we've got it. It's lined up exactly where it needs to go. So we're good. So I just wanted to show you that before when you open up this package of all these different brackets and all this different stuff, you're going to be able to go, oh, I know what this is. All right, so you can see here. I'm just going to go around and you can see. So your holes need to go like this on the inside edge. Same thing on the inside edge here. And then once we get this cap off, we'll start taking this all back apart, and I'll show you. We're going to do one side at a time, okay? So I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to, if you've never taken the inside of your trunk apart, if you've got your 4 screws here that takes this off. You've got your little spinner nut. Actually, this one spinner nut down here needs to come off, as well as over here and those. And then at that point, we'll have to take the spinners off of this down here. You can see right here, we're going to take those off, and a couple other right there. And we'll pull this carpet out also, because we've got to be able to bolt through the tub. So go ahead and sit back. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull that out. All right, guys, before I go and pull everything out, I want to be able to get this up and out of the way. Nothing's bolted in, so I don't want it to fall apart. So it's a good thing. I'm reverse engineering this so you guys can see kind of what it looks like before it goes together. So you're going to see me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull this apart. And I'm just going to take these screws out, because I don't want anything to fall down and end up getting scratched up or anything. So we'll go ahead and take this bracket off, just like that. Okay, and then we'll pull these screws out, and then we can take this upper bracket loose. Okay, we'll set that off to the side. We're going to do the same thing on this one. So these 2 screws that I'm removing, these are the ones that holds the wing on. And being able to see this ahead of time, guys, is going to be worth its weight in gold to you, being able to go ahead and put this together. If you see how it comes apart, you'll definitely know. Alright, so we're going to set those off to the side here. Then I can go ahead and I can take my little wing cap and take it off, and I can just set it right over here. We'll just get it out of the way for right now. Alright, and then what we've got is we've got our bracket here. Now this will probably pull right out, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how it goes together in the beginning. So you've got a 10 millimeter bolt that's right here, and we're going to go ahead and remove it. Now of course that wouldn't have moved, but so you're going to pull that out, and then you'll be able to put this bracket in. So what we're to do this the right way is that we're going to put this bracket in first, bolt it down. Then we'll take this and we'll set this one, we'll start this bolt, get it tight, and then we'll have our drill points for these. Okay, once that's done, you'll be able to put this bracket on. Now I'm going to go ahead and take, again, just showing you here, you've got 3 screws right here. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to take those free. Let me see here. We'll take those free here so I can actually put the Loctite in them. And so if you put those on ahead of time, not a big deal. You could just go ahead and put your Loctite in, or your sealant to keep it, keep it from vibrating loose. But you've just got the three Allen screws here, like that holds this upper bracket on. Okay, so like I said, you can put this on before or after And we'll probably end up I'm just going to set it here, and we'll go ahead and we'll be able to put this in. Now you can see what I'm talking about here, guys. You see these two nut zerts here? Right here, right there. You can't get them wrong. There's no way it won't fit in there any other way. Okay, so you got that one right there, and then you've got a little like a gusset that's right here on the piece of plastic. So if this goes in there, that sits right there like that, you're gonna drill your holes, okay? Very, very simple once you understand how it's all put together, but there's no instructions in the box. So this way, you know, you guys are gonna know, okay, this is pretty simple, I can put this all together, okay? So, so we're gonna go ahead, I'll come back in the video here in just a second once I get the trunk removed, okay? I wanna be able to show you the meat and potatoes of installing these. It's already a hard enough job to take your bumper off, take all the interior out, all that type of stuff. So I just wanted to be able to get down to the brass tacks with this. So I've got all of my stuff sitting right here. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put that bracket in place, okay, just like we were showing you. All right, so it's gonna go in here. It will only line up one way. There's no way, there's a little guide right here. There's a guide right here. It's gonna go right there. That's where it's going. There's no other option. Okay, so then what you're gonna do is you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna drill these. Okay, so go ahead and hold it. Go ahead and drill through. Okay, just like that. Now what I would do is I'd go ahead and put one in. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm using RTV sealant, but you can use Loctite. And all I'm going to do is just a little bit. I don't need a lot, just a little bit on there. Okay, and we're just going to put that through and get this one going. So this way my bracket's not going to move on me. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. We'll put this one through. Alright, got our washer on there. And I'm going to snug it up. Okay, now that the bracket's in there and the bolt's in there, now I can go through and I can just drill all the other ones. Okay, just like that. Alright, so now we got those done. Now those are all going to be 10 millimeter bolts. We've also got two 8 millimeter bolts. So I've got a smaller drill bit for the two holes that are right up here. We're going to go ahead and drill through those also. Okay, just like that. And just like that. Okay, now we're done drilling. So now all we got to do, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to push all my bolts through. Then I'll put my RTV sealant on the back. But you could do it either way, it doesn't really matter, but you're going to push them all the way through, and then your two small ones will go over here, okay, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to go ahead and I'll put my sealant on there, or my Loctite, either one. Okay, got that done. Then we'll go ahead and we'll put our washers on. I guess you probably could have put the washers on and then put the Loctite on there so you don't get it all over yourself like I am doing right now. Okay. Alright, so now we'll go ahead and we'll get these nuts on. And I know you guys can't see what I'm doing right here, guys, but this is literally, I'm just putting the nuts on the back of these bolts. So, not rocket science there. I'm going to be getting some glasses so that I can film and you can see exactly what I'm seeing. I think that's going to help you guys quite a bit. There we go. All right, so now we've got that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tighten this up. We've got our 10 millimeter here. We've got a 10 millimeter backup wrench here. Okay, let's see if we can snug those down just a little bit. Okay, one more here. I should have done that when there we go. So I'm tightening it from the back side with the wrench, guys. This makes it, get you just a little bit better of a cinch down. Make them nice and snug, nice and tight. Okay, and then we're going to move over to the other one. And let's see if I can do this way. Tighten these little guys down. I can tell you guys from the install that you guys saw me do with the ZR1 for the wing for the C7, the bracketry is much more simplified here on the C8. So that's nice. Alright, that's snucking down now. Okay, one more. I guess I should have got a socket here for this one, but I thought it was going to be a lot simpler, but there it goes. It's tightening down now. Alright, so now that bracket is on. So now all we got to do left, guys, is we're going to take this bracket and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it back up here like this. Now what that entails is we've got another bolt. Let's see what I do with it. We can swipe one. See if I can swipe one over here. Alright, so now that we got that bracket down, all we've got to do is to put this one on. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take our other 10 millimeter bolt and we'll put it up through. Now we need to go ahead and use a little bit of Loctite again on this screw. You don't have to go crazy, just enough to be able to keep it from vibrating loose. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and put it up there and get it started. Okay, just like that. Alright, so then we can go ahead and we can tighten it up. You want to make sure that it's right there, right where it's going to go. And let's see if I can get this. Alright, so that one's going to be kind of a pain at that angle. So now that I've got it bolted down, we'll just go ahead and we'll just do it this way. If I wasn't so lazy, I'd just go get another socket and do it the shorter way. But now what you want to do is you want to make sure that that is right up against the tub, and then you're going to tighten this down. So now that one is right where it goes. Now what you can go ahead and do is you can drill, you can take your drill bit again, and you can go ahead and drill through the tub here. It's like this. Okay. And then you've got your two more bolts here, and they're going to go right through the tub like that. This time I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go ahead and put my washer on first. There we go. And then I'll put my goop on. Keep it from getting me getting a bunch of stuff all over my fingers. Okay. And then I'll use my 2 nuts here. There we go. Got one of them started. Now there's an electronic module back here, which I think is for the trunk release. And this bolt is very, very close to it. So you just have to kind of get around it a little bit with your fingers. Not a big deal. Okay, and then tighten them up like that. And then you follow it up, just snugging it up with the wrench. Okay. Alright, so that side is done, guys.
Hi, I'm Larry, owner of Tint World in Concord, California. Come on by for window tint, PPF, ceramic coating, paint correction, whatever your car needs. Mention the Corvette channel and we'll give you a discount. Hope to see you soon.
Alright guys, we're over here on the other side now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and get rid of this bracket. We're going to go ahead and take it off. So I'm going to use this tool here to take it off. And again, if you were following my video, you wouldn't already have this on there anyway. You would just, but I was doing that for demonstration purposes to show you. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that's in its spot, and it is. So like I said before, we'll just drill one hole. Okay, so we got that, and then we'll go ahead and we'll put a bolt through. All right, and we'll grab a washer, and we'll do a nut. And we'll get a little bit of RTV going on here, or thread lock, whatever you decide you want to use. Okay, and this is just going to hold it in place so we can go ahead and we can get this thing set up. Okay, so I'll use my wrench here, my backup wrench. Alright, tighten that down. Alright, so now that that's in place, we can go ahead and we can drill all our other holes. Okay, got that one. And we're going to go ahead and drill these 2 smaller holes. Okay, got those done. All right, now we're going to go ahead, we're going to put all our bolts in. Let's see, right here. Like that. Put these 2 up here. Just like that. There we go. Now we can go ahead and put our washers on. Okay. I got a bunch of washers here. Okay. And we can go ahead and we can put our Loctite. All right. Start our nuts. Okay. Again, all we're doing, guys, is we're just tightening these bolts up. All right, we'll tighten them up. Get on them with a backup wrench here so they'll tighten up real good. Okay, I think we got all those. Right here, I think you might need a little bit more. There we go. And then we've got one over here for the two smaller ones. Set this down. Okay, we're getting there, guys. We're almost done with this part. All right, let's see if we can go ahead and get this little guy to tighten up. Okay, and one more. All right. All right, so we got that done. So now all we gotta do, we're gonna put our goop again back up on our little bolt here. Okay, like so. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start this bolt. Put that bracket all the way up there like that. Get this bolt started. We're bouncing back and forth between an 8 and a 10 millimeter. So we'll go ahead and we'll get that on there. Okay. Then at that point, we can go ahead and we can drill our holes out again. So there isn't anything back there. So if you have any issues, and right here. Alright. And then we can go ahead and we can put our bolt through like that and that. There we go. Put our 2 washers on. Now, when they created these brackets, they did a really, really good job because they literally went right around a wiring harness. So you don't have to worry about that. It clears it. That's pretty cool that it misses just perfectly. Use our backup wrench. Okay. Almost done, guys. All right, the last nut. Okay, and then we'll tighten it up again. All right, so now we've got all of the bolts in. All right, guys, once we've got those brackets on the car, as you can see right now, it's ready for us to do a test fit. But what we got to do is we got to get the old spoiler off of the car, or off the bumper. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take the tail lights out so we can get to all the bolts. This makes it a little bit easier. We'll just move them. We don't have to disconnect anything. We'll just move them out of the way. We'll get those. We'll tuck that off to the side. We'll pull this up and fold it up and get it up over here. Now you can take it off if you like. And if you want to do that, let me see if I can show you that. You just take this red tab. You pull it out, you push down in the center right here, right like so. Come on. And it pushes on out. We'll go ahead and we'll move it out of the way for right now. It'll make it a little bit easier actually to so we'll go ahead and we'll move it out of the way. It'll actually make it easier to maneuver the bumper when we're doing the test fits anyway. That we've got the tail light out, so less weight will be moving around. We'll just set this down, get it out of the way. We'll go ahead and we'll do the same thing on this side. Out of the way, take our red tab, push the clip down, and we'll remove it. Go ahead and get this one out, up and out of the way. So, Guys, this isn't a real hard job. It's a lot of time and a lot of steps. So don't be intimidated by it. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and pull this one out too. We'll take the third brake light out just because we're gonna end up having to cut in here. We'll just get it up and out of the way so we don't have to worry about it. Okay. I'm gonna gather up all these screws. They're all the same, so we'll get them all out of the way. Set these over here. All right, so now we got that. Now we can go ahead and we can take this loose. There we go. Pull it out. We'll take this off and set it off to the side. All right, so the weight of the bumper just got a lot lighter, that's for sure. And so now what we can do is we can go ahead and we can start to go ahead and get our bolts free. Now these are all 10mm bolts. Take our 10mm socket and we'll start doing these. And hopefully the sticky tape that the factory put on isn't terrible. Now, that's the beauty of this kit from Extreme, is that it comes with that cap that I showed you. That cap does two things. One, it acts as a template to be able to know exactly where to cut the hole. Number two, it covers all these holes in the bumper. So this way, it looks nice and finished. Alright, so now we'll set all those bolts off to the side. And then we're going to see just how well this thing comes loose. And it's definitely, oh, you know what, it might actually start to come free. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my nylon pry tool. You want to make sure that you use a nylon pry tool, okay? So you don't want to use a screwdriver. But yeah, oh, I'm getting lucky here, guys. Normally this doesn't happen. Normally these don't come off this easy. Usually this is a nightmare. All right, I'm gonna say it that way. But this is coming off really nice, and I'm so thankful. Okay, so even the sticky is actually staying on there. I'm really surprised with that, but I am happy, super happy. I'm gonna set this off to the side. All right, so now we've got our bumper ready to go set back on the car. So we're gonna set it down. Okay. And then we'll put it back on the car, we'll set it in place, and then we'll put the cap on. So about where we're gonna put the cap, we'll put some blue tape down on the top of the bumper, and then that way we can draw the outline of exactly where we have to cut. Okay, so I'm gonna take the bumper now, and it weighs probably half of what it weighed before I took the other stuff off. I'm gonna set that down nice and careful. And then we'll go ahead and we'll set it up here. Just like so. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm just gonna put a couple screws in here just to lock it down, just so it doesn't go anywhere. All right, there we go. All right, so now it's in place. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the cap and I'm just going to set it on there. Okay. All right, so we're going to take the cap and we're going to just set it up here on the bumper. And this is just, we'll end up putting some tape down, but I want to be able to see exactly how this is going to go. So you can see here, it's going down pretty good here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put some tape in these blue spots, or these open red spots, and then that way we can draw our template here exactly where we've got to cut. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and it's like right in here. too. Oops, don't want any wrinkles in it. Alright, set that off to the side. Now we should have exactly where it's got to go. So you can see that. And we're going to go, I'll get the camera so you can see exactly what I'm looking at, okay? So now you can see right here, this is exactly where it needs to go. And you're going to push that up there like that. And then this ends up getting glued down with the sticky tape, right? So you're going to make sure that this goes in exactly where you're expecting it to go. Because you only get to do this once, guys. Okay, so you can see there's a little bit of play, so you want to make sure that you get it right. Okay, so there's that, and then we do it right there like that. Okay, and we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go get the marker, and we'll be able to mark it. All right, so now we know right where it's going to go, and you want to make sure, guys, that you don't want this to go past this edge. Okay, so you make sure that you're getting this centered, but then that the edge of this little guy right here is right there next to the edge. You do not want it to go past, because then it's going to catch the trunk. Okay. All right, so we've got that one. We're going to go ahead and push that up there like so, just like this. Okay, and then I'm going to move over to the other side. We're going to go there. Make sure that that's right where it belongs. And then we're going to go here. Okay, now that you've got those marked, you can go ahead and pull this up and off. Okay, just like that. Now we know exactly where our brackets are going to go, and you could actually feel up in there. You can see that you can feel with your fingers that it's exactly in the right spot. So you're not going in the wrong place. Okay, so that's right where I need to be. So now what we got to do. This is the scary part, and I always hate this part of it. But we're going to cut this out. Now, the one nice thing about this is that as long as you keep your other spoiler, you're never going to see this. If you ever have to put your other spoiler back on, this is reversible. You can take the other one back off, and you can put it back on, because the way they put the bracketry, it's inboard just enough that it's just going to clear right here, and it's inboard here enough that they're not going to see it. So if you ever wanted to take this back off and sell it, whatever, and put your other one back on when you're going to trade your car in or whatever, you could do that. Okay. So anyway, now what we've got to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this bumper back up on the stand, and we're going to cut this out. So what we've got going on now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill these out. So we're going to cut them out, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to catch these corners with the drill. Okay, so I'm going to start with a smaller pilot hole, and then I'm going to drill into that a little bit to make it a little bit bigger. So we're going to go here, and about right there. And all we're doing is this way we can make those turns, right? We want to be able to make the turn. And I'm going to be cutting this with a Dremel tool. You'll see that in a minute. If you guys watched my ZR1 video for the C7, I use the same tool in it. Now, looks like the nice thing about this is the fact that I don't have to worry about all the different angles and different things that are back there. Okay, so now that I've got those drilled out, now what I can do is I can take my my Dremel tool, and you can see this is just basically a rotary. Those of you that use oh god, a die grinder, right, or a cutoff tool, it's just a micro version of it, but it works really, really well, and you can control it a heck of a lot better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go right here and I'm going to follow the lines. Right, now we can take a look before we cut the other side. We can go ahead and make sure that we're still good. We can put the cover back on. Just like that. That looks pretty darn good, guys. All right, so we'll go ahead and cut the next one. So we'll just we're done with that. So now we can go ahead and we can take our tape off that. There we go. And then what we got to do is we got to go ahead and we got to put the bumper back on and test fit it. Make sure that the bracket is going to bolt down through it. Okay. And we're going to set it back on the car. Our bumper is in the relaxed spot. It looks like it's right where it needs to be. We're going to put another screw right there. So there we go. Okay. So that one goes exactly where we want it. So let's go ahead and let's try the other side. We'll get this one right where we want the screws also. And we'll try this side here. So we only got to take this thing off one more time. So this one here seems to be a little bit better. Looks like it might need a little bit of adjusting. Yep, it's got to be cut just a little bit more too. All right, so we'll do that. Guys, patience is a virtue here. got it. Okay. Alright, so there we go. Now we've got that. So now what we do, we're going to go ahead and we're going to clean this cap up. We're going to apply some adhesion promoter to it to make sure that the sticky sticks down to this to the bumper, so that we don't get any rising or lifting on this, and then we'll be able to get everything else put back together. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to pull this off, and we will go ahead and start the process of cleaning everything up. Okay, so that one's good to go. Take this one off. Alright, let's set this one off to the side. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean all this stuff up, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the tail lights back in. Okay, so we get those set back in place. There we go, there's one. And we'll get our third brake light in. Make sure I get it plugged in. Okay. There we go. And we'll get our other light in. And then we can go ahead and start tightening them all down. Alright, then you want to make sure that you plug your lights back in. So we took our little snap, and we're going to put that back on. So the wire isn't dangling. Put that in there like that, snap it, set your emergency plug. Same thing with this one. We're going to go ahead and plug it in. Push our little keeper in there, put that in there like so. Press our clip. We're good to go. Okay. So now what we can do is we are ready to go ahead and put the bumper back on. Okay, so hopefully, if all goes well, we'll be able to put it on and we won't have to take it back off. Alright, so. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the bumper back on the car. Now this time around, we have no intention of it coming off again, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to hook up all the connectors. So I'm going to go ahead and hook that all up inside here. Okay, so then at that point, we'll go ahead and we'll be able to lift it up and get it up over this lip. It's giving me grief here. There we go. Alright, and that fits on there good. Now we're just going to go ahead, we're going to put a couple screws in just to kind of hold it, just like that. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and get our top brackets in, and then we'll be able to put our cap on. Okay? What you want to go ahead and do is put a little bit of thread lock or some adhesive in here to make sure that the screws are going to hold. They're not going to vibrate loose. This is what's holding your wing on. Okay, so we'll put that on there like so. Might as well do it on this other side too. cap back on. Put this stuff away. Alright. Then we'll go ahead and we'll get these set.
Motion detected at front door.
Okay. Snug those little dudes up. You want these pretty snug. You don't want to strip them out though, but you want to get them pretty snug. There we go. So you just go back and forth. There we go. Got that one tight. Now we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Get them all started first, and then start snugging them down. That. All right, so we got those done. So now we can go ahead and we can test fit the top cap. Make sure that everything is good there. There we go. That should just go right on over there like that. And look at that. It fits perfect. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tighten down the top screws here. And then that way the top piece is exactly where we want it to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten these down. Get your bumper right where you want it. Okay. And I have a couple different types of screws in here. You probably won't.
Motion detected at front door.
The reason I have different screws in here is because I have a cover for this from C8 Rally Driver, and it has snaps that snaps in place. So I'll come back with Phillips here in just a second. We'll tighten all those down, but I'm doing the torque screws now. So you won't have to worry about that part. So we've got all that done. All right, so that's good. So now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to get some, you don't have to do this, but I'm going to do it because I want to make sure that the adhesive will stick all the way around this, and I don't want it to come loose. So I'm going to take some adhesion promoter and I'm going to wipe this all down along these edges where the tape sticks, okay? So you can get adhesion promoter at the hardware store. You can get it on Amazon. They're just little packets. It has well, it's an adhesion promoter of all things. What it's designed to do, let me see, I don't want to put this on the rest of my paint, so it looks like it's going to go like right there. So I want it just inside of where my paint, where that piece is going to go. So the reason behind this is that what it does is it makes sure that the adhesion actually works a little bit better. It makes it 2 to 3 times stronger than the original adhesion or adhesive that you have. So if you do this and you let it dry, then it will, it tends to bond just that little bit better, and that way you don't take the chance of it coming off. Okay, so now what I'm doing here while it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start peeling my sticky tape. As you know, I don't do well with my sticky tape, but you want, it's probably about, I don't know, probably in here right now. I've had the door closed for a while. It's probably 78 degrees in here. So that adhesion promoter it almost flashes immediately. If it's in a cool weather when you're doing this, you want to let it sit for a few minutes, and then apply your tape. Okay, but you should be fine. I'm going to be fine here by the time I get my sticky tape all peeled off. This is going to stick and stick pretty darn well. So, but like I said, once we do this, you don't want to, you know, it's not going to want to come off. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to make sure, and when you'll know that this is cured when it has flashed, because it will look kind of a cloudy color. And so you're going to put that on there, and you're going to make sure that this catches right there in the corner, not up and past it, because you don't want the trunk to hit it, right? So you're going to go like right there, okay? And this should be pretty darn close right there. I'm going to stick this down. It's like this. And then just hold it there. Won't take long, but it'll bond. All right, yeah, it's starting to hold now really well. Okay, there we go. It's like it's supposed to. Okay. All right, so that's what we've got so far. So now what we've got to do is we've got our brackets that go on to here, right? And they are going to, so they'll go in and they'll sit down. But we've got to go ahead and we've got to put these brackets onto the wing, and then we can set this down. Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. What we've got now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put our uprights on, our stanchions, onto the wing. Okay, so I'm going to show you how that's done. Now the first thing we're going to do, we're going to be putting 2 screws into here, or 2 bolts. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to put a little bit of my sealant in here again, or you can use some Loctite. Okay, whatever you want, whatever you prefer. I use this, it works really well. Well, I got this open, I'm going to go ahead and put it over on the other side too. Alright, so now we got that part done. So now this is kind of tricky, guys. It's not really tricky, but it's kind of a pain, if I would say anything. So what you're doing, and hopefully you guys can see this. Let me see if I can get this up here. But you've got this bracket that's going to go into this stanchion like so. And you've got 2 holes. I'm going to pull this back out so you can see it, but you've got 2 holes right here and here. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take the shortest of there's only 4 of these in the kit. You're going to take the shortest ones. You're going to put that one right there in here. Now it's got a 10mm head, but you're not going to be able to use it. You're going to have to use the Phillips end of it. And then you're going to go ahead and you're going to put this one down in the hole also. There we go. So now we've got our bolts going there through again. We're going to grab our brake or our stanchion, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to put it through. Okay, so that one went through, and then that one went through. So now you can see how that looks. See that right there? Okay, so now that we've got that, now we're going to go ahead and screw it onto the unit, onto the wing itself. Okay. And how you know that these are the right ones is that one, they are marked, and the other one is that your stanchions, the screws that are going to hold the wing on, are on to the inside. Okay, so you can go ahead and get these started. Hopefully. Loosen that one back up so we can get this one to wiggle around and get started. Alright, so we've got them both started now. Now we can go ahead and we can tighten them up. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this in here, and hopefully you guys can see that. We're going to go into here, tighten that down, and then we're going to get it nice and tight. Okay, do the same thing on this one, and then we'll snug it up. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's one down. So now what we'll be able to do, just so you guys can see this, is that the bolts, when we get the wing on, the bolts are going to go through here like this. They'll go through the brackets and they'll bolt in. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing. So I'm going to set the screw gun down here, put it in my pocket, and we're going to go ahead. Again, we're going to drop the screw into the hole here. And we'll put this one down there also. Then we'll cheat and we'll use the screwdriver. Okay? Just like so. Alright, so now you're going to go ahead and you're going to put this in there like this. Okay, that bottom one went right in. Okay, now the top one, there it goes too. So you can see how that looks, right guys? There we go. Okay, so now we'll go ahead and we'll put this in here and we'll get it started. There we go. So you may have to walk these in and out just a little bit to get them to start, tighten up, because you don't want to strip these. All right. There we go. Okay. So now we got those nice and tight. Okay. All right, guys, for us short, challenged people, right, vertically challenged, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put all of my trunk stuff back together because I'm not going to be able to reach over as easy when I go when I put the wing back on there. It's going to be a little bit higher up, so it's going to be harder for me to get in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hook everything up here, get everything plugged back in, make sure that you plug in your lights that you disconnected when you were pulling everything out. Okay, make sure you do that. Make sure that your emergency pull handle goes through the hole. Okay, and then you can go ahead and you can get your trim. You know, get all your carpet tucked back in like it's supposed to. Alright guys, we've got the interior all put back together in the trunk, and we've got our feet on here. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the wing on. So we're just going to slide this up and over. Should slide right over it. Okay. get this to play nice. Little bit of adjustment it's going to take, I see. Just a little. There we go. Alright, so then we can go ahead and we can set this down. So it's very, very tight squeeze, guys. Alright, so there we go. It's going down. Alright, so we got our spoilers sitting here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put the screws in. And then we'll go ahead and we're going to use an angle tool to be able to get in there. Because there's just really not a lot of room here, guys. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that in there. Try to get this one started. Okay, and then we'll get the next one going. Alright, now we're going to get the other one on this side going here, and then we'll work them in. So now the last thing we got to do, so you can see here, this thing it's not going anywhere. Okay, and it looks really good, but we got to put the end caps on now. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to do that next. I'm going to clean this wing up really good, and then make sure all my handprints don't get all over it, and then we'll get it all wiped down, and then we'll put the epoxy on, and then I'll tape it, and we'll leave it taped overnight, and it'll be good to go. Okay. Alright guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and we're going to put the winglets on. Okay, so we're going to start right over here on this corner. I think you guys can see me here. Okay, so you can see what I'm doing right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill some holes inside the winglet. Okay, so I'm going to drill just some holes like right here, just a couple of them along the way, and we're just going to go through the first layer. Okay, because these are hollow. Okay, and then we'll go back. We're going to do that a couple of times here. We're going to drill 3 or 4 holes, and the reason behind that is that gives the epoxy something to grab hold. Okay, you'll see what I'm talking about here in just a second when we break out the epoxy. Okay. One more right here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. All right, so now we got a few holes here in the winglet. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing over here on the end of the wing. So we're just going to drill some holes here. Like that. Go in reverse. Drill another hole. Here more in the center. Okay. Just like that. We'll do one more like right here. I want it to walk on us. So now we've got our holes here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put some epoxy in here, our JB weld, and we'll put it up here on this, and then we'll be able to stick it on, and then we'll get it taped. So here's the JB weld that I use, and it's a plastic binder. Okay, and what you can do is that this is a 15-minute work time. And it sets and cures in 30 minutes, okay? So it will hold this, no problem. Now I also have the little straw here, and I just need to cut this, and what we'll do is we'll just take the cap off here like that. We'll put this on like this, and then I gotta go cut this off really fast, okay? So now what this does, this actually will, as you can see it, if you've never used this before, you can see, watch, it's instead of putting it out there and stirring it up with a stick, this goes in and you'll see I'm gonna start pushing it. And you can see that it's swirling it together right there. It's mixing it up on itself. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna put some of this in here. So like that. And then I'm just gonna kind of stir it around. I think you guys can see that, yeah. You don't want to get too close to the edge. You can have quite a bit. Make sure you get them in the holes that we drilled. All right. And I'm just kind of swirling it around. But like I said, you don't want to get it too close to the edges because then it will ooze out on you. And then you'll end up with JB Weld everywhere where you don't want it. Okay, now I got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that in these holes. Put it in the holes. So even if the surface decides it's not going to work anymore, it's not going to bond for whatever reason, this, I'm going to put a little swirl here, this keeps it where the goop actually went into the holes and it will hold itself together. Okay, so just like that. All right, so then we'll set this down now and we'll go ahead and we'll stick this one on. Okay, just like that. Now it probably would hold anyway, but just for safekeeping, we're going to go ahead and we're going to tape it on there. Just like that. Okay, now we can go like this, put a little bit of tape there, keeps it from lifting. We'll do that over here. There we go. All right. Tomorrow morning, well, actually here in an hour, this thing will be more than enough stiff, but we'll move over to the other side now. So we're going to do the exact same thing over here with this winglet. Okay. So again, we're going to go ahead and we're going to drill some holes. It helps if you do it the right way. And then, like I said, remember, only go through the first layer. Don't continue to go, otherwise you'll have a hole on the other side. Okay, reverse your drill and move on. I'll put one right there too. Okay. And right here. You notice I'm going pretty slow on the drill. I don't want to over drill all of a sudden and end up going through. Okay, and then we're gonna get one more like right here. Right here. And that one's being a little ornery. Take your time. I can feel it, it's about ready to go through now. There we go. Okay, so we got those. Now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna drill the last ones of this into the wing. And one right here. go ahead and we'll do what we did before. We're going to pump the holes first. Now we're going to swirl it around. Again, not getting too much. You want enough that it's going to bond, but you don't want to get it so much that it's running out the sides. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing here. Okay, then we're going to kind of swirl it around. Just a little bit right up there. There we go. All right. Now we got that. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to marry the two pieces together here. Just like that. And we'll break out our tape. Put that over there like so. Okay. Again, we'll put this down here like that. Kind of making that piece of tape tight right there. Notice that? And then we'll go ahead and we'll do that at the bottom also. Alright guys, you're done.
So guys, hopefully you found this video helpful and informative, and if you did, you'll know exactly where to get your wing. You can go to extremeonlinestore.com, or you can reach out to me. I'm going to put that information right up here also, and that I'll be able to save you 5%. Now guys, a little bit of a warning here. These are beautiful wings, they go together well, but it is a very hard install. It's very complicated, as you saw in the video. So I would highly recommend that if you are not real handy with your hands and have all the tools you saw me have, that you reach out to someone like me or someone in your area that can do this type of work for you. This can be very intimidating, drilling holes into the car, cutting holes into the back of the bumper. There's a lot of things there that you saw that the average person doesn't typically do, and they don't have the tools to do it. So just be aware of that, okay? You'll be able to find a body shop or something like that if you're not near me. If you're in my area, I'll be happy to take care of it. But I do highly recommend that if you're not real good with your hands and with a lot of tools, that I highly recommend that you have a professional install this wing, okay? So other than that, it's a great product. I love it. I'm so glad I did it. And like I said, you will love it too. So guys, I want to thank you guys all for watching today. If you guys have not already subscribed to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm just trying to get our numbers up, and I would really appreciate it. And those of you that have subscribed, thank you so much for subscribing, okay? Anyway, we're getting into the little cooler weather, so guys, this is the perfect time. You pull your car in the garage, you're not going to miss out because there's nothing going on the weekends right now. So if it takes you a little bit of time to do one of these, not a big deal, all right? So anyway, now's the time. So I don't know what else to say except I want to thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later.
Thank you for watching the Corvette channel. Don't forget to hit subscribe.
girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. I think the girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. I like the girls with their nails done.